Oh, what is going on? I hope everyone had a great weekend. Your boy went to his first ever All-Star weekend, and I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I got a lot of things to share about my own personal experience being an NBA All-Star 2026. And also, it was your boy's first time at the Intuit Dome. I got some stories to talk to you guys about that as well. The All Star game itself, the level of competition wasn't good. Did the NBA finally figure out the format? This is going to be a very, very fun and a little different episode because this one's going to be my personal experience. And I want to share with you guys, the loyal listeners to Lakers Talk Daily, but you already know. What does your boy have to do? I have to talk about the beautiful Pachanga Resort Casino, and you can play a perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pachanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pachanga.com or call 888 Pachanga for reservations and for more information. By the way, for those of you guys who are out there who are driving in this weather, please be safe because it is raining like crazy out there right now in the city of Los Angeles. But your boy went to his first ever NBA All-Star game. And before I even get into the game itself and get into all that stuff, as far as like, who I was able to run into, all that, first and foremost, I have to talk about the Intuit Dome. That was my first time ever at the Intuit Dome, obviously the home of the Los Angeles Clippers. And let me tell you something. As being in media and being able to do social media and being able to do content, it was me and the guy who was operating today back there in our studio is John, my boy John Martin, who he will be with me on the second half of this episode because he worked with me doing social media. I'm not gonna lie to you. Getting through Intuit Dome and navigating through it as a media personnel, it was very, very difficult and very, very confusing. I mean, that building, I'm not gonna lie to you, the outside of it, the outside of Intuit Dome, the whole basketball court for people to play on, the design of it from the outside perspective, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I am not gonna lie to you guys. The different things, the activities they got going on before you enter inside the arena, Intuit Dome is at its best when it comes to that. So we were walking through, got to find out parking. We parked in the West Garage. The West Garage is literally connected right to the arena. They have a nice little tunnel that you get through, and you go in there, and it guides you literally right into the main area, the main campus of Intuit Dome. And it was cool. And there was a lot of people there, people out there shooting hoops, getting their shots up, have a little friendly competition. They got a nice little different things you can take pictures in front of. They had an all-star weekend on the red carpet that people were taking pictures in front of. The scene before getting into the arena, it was very, very beautiful. Now, as we were walking through and as we got our credentials, me and my guy John were walking through, finding where the media entrance. We went in there, okay? And when I tell you that, it was very, very confusing just to find out where we set our stuff at, where we get our seats, all that different type of stuff. It was very, very confusing. And when we finally were able to find out, okay, where our seats are at, we went ahead and set our stuff up. Cool, we got it set up, got our cameras out, we're ready to work. We're ready to get to work on that basketball court. So this is where it gets really, really interesting because trying to get through and finding where the actual basketball court is located was another thing. There were so many different people that we were talking with, and we're like, hey, where do we go to find the basketball court? Where do we go to get here? It was everyone had the same types of questions, and it tells me that literally every single person was like, yeah, you got to be able to try to go. This is where you got to go. I get it's very, very confusing. But as you can see right here, we find our way in and finally get to the basketball court. And just walking there, there's my guy, John Martin. And when I tell you that arena, when you actually get inside, remember, this is from a court side experience. It is huge. And what Steve Ballmer did for that arena, it's very, very nice. Very, very nice. I like the whole Jumbotron. I love the whole idea of that. I love the interaction you can do on your seats. They have different trivia questions going on. You can be very interactive throughout the course of the entire game. The lights were flashing every single time a player was getting introduced, or there was someone that was making a basket, or again, when they had a 7-minute spurt into trying to what's it called? The separation in between time from setting up different game to game. Remember, you have the Royals versus the Stars and all different types of stuff. That 7 minute intermission, they were very, very interactive, and they did a great job of keeping people in their seats, getting in and out. The fact that we were able to be on the basketball floor, and I think, and I do believe we have this video. And I did a little video as far as me introducing the court. You see the background scene, and it was a very, very beautiful thing. That basketball court looked really, really good. The NBA All Star 2026 logo, very, very good thing to see. And as you can see right here, like it was spectacular. And the fact that this is my first time at Intuit Dome, very, 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 very interesting. I will say this though, for those of you who want to be in attendance and those of you who want to try to get out there to Intuit Dome, I would say if you haven't had that experience, at least go there and try to experience it. I probably won't be back there because it was very, very confusing as far as immediate personnel. It might be different from a fan perspective. I know they do a great job of how they organize their seating and all that different types of stuff. You get in and out, you grab your food, you're right back in your seat. You don't want to miss any of the action. But this is what I want. I wanted to share this with you guys because this is a very, very awesome thing that I was able to experience. And it being my very first NBA All Star game, I was never able to go to All Star games because one, I didn't have the funds to really go to it. And honestly, it's still the same thing. And that's one thing I want to touch on before we talk about the game itself. Is that you're telling me that the get-in price is over $600 a get-in price, and I get it. Everyone's talking about the attendance is like really low, and it didn't seem like there was that many people there. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We were sitting up at the very kind of up top. It's called a terrace level, is where we were sitting at for me and John, and we just took a look. It's like 10 minutes before games, about the NBA All Star games about to kick off. It's the kickoff start or tip off, I should say. And we just took a look. We literally just took a look, and it was from our level, from where we were sitting, it looked very, very empty. It looked very, very empty. There was a lot of empty seats from our personal experience. Remember, this is where I was sitting at. It might be different from people sitting down courtside or lower. There's more people down there compared to the people sitting up top along the level with us. And that's another concern for me for the NBA is that I get it. It's different as far as the location. It's hard to get in and out of that area, let alone. Remember, you got to think about it. There's a Kia Forum there. You got SoFi Stadium. Then now you built the Intuit Dome. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. And there's only what you got to get on the streets just to get to that location compared to crypto.com where it's very easy to navigate through. It's very easy to get in and out of. It's there's 3 different freeways you can get off of. And also if you have that choice, you can go on the streets. So for all those of you asking, how were the seats as far as like, were there a lot of people there? What was the attendance like? I'm not going to lie to you, did not seem that full. I wish there was another way the NBA can do a better job as far as like getting people to actually go to the game because itself, like, there was not that many people from what we were sitting at. Now, to go in, and this is what another thing, which is really interesting, is that so after we got done, we shot some stuff for them warming up and all that. We ended up going back into the hallway and we ended up walking through because we want to get a little more tour. And you're not going to believe who me and John were able to run into. You guys are very, very familiar with this guy by the name of Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala was right there. We were able to say what's up. And also, mid-range maestro, John had a very, very funny moment where we walked by and Sean Livingston, if you guys remember, Sean Livingston was right there. And my boy John legit was all like, yo, your mid-range was killer, man. And he gave him a little nod, a little head nod. And then Andre Iguodala, as we know, that the famous line is, state of the universe is on the line and want that last second shot. I'm going with Iguodala. And that just all those different types of memories started to come, but it was a star-studded affair. There was a lot of stars that are there in attendance. Queen Latifah was there. President Obama was there. The stars did come out the show. And it doesn't surprise me in the city of LA that stars do like to come out. Now, that was a very good experience. The fact that I was able to have a little interaction, be able to have a little interaction with little players like Sean Livingston, Hall of Famer, and Andre Iguodala. Like, it was very, very cool to see. We were able to interact with a lot of different people. And that was another beautiful moment to see. Now, To get into the All-Star weekend itself, let's start off with this. I don't really care for the celebrity game. Celebrity game itself is okay. Now to get into the actual All-Star Saturday night, I'm with Sedano as far as make the slam dunk contest first. Try to make that first. It is time to move the 3-point contest as the last thing of the event because the 3-point contest every single year thus far has been really, really good. You got to think about it. Damian Lillard has not played all year long due to his Achilles injury and recovering from that. He's going neck to neck with Devin Booker. And there was a lot more excitement. Because why? There's stars out there. You know Damian Lillard. You know Devin Booker. You know the rest of those guys that are participating in the 3-point contest. And the fact that there's another story. Why? Because this is Damian Lillard's third time winning an NBA champion. It is very, very exciting to see that going down. And honestly, the 3-point contest is one of those events that the NBA still needs to just keep that. Do not touch it. Keep those same stars getting in there and participating in it. They got rid of the skills challenge for a reason. We see what happened with Chris Paul and Wemby. They cheated the process, and it ended up not working out into their favor. NBA had all of a sudden got rid of that. And then now we go into the actual dunk contest. Whew. Look, respect to those guys going out there and participating. Respect to those guys a lot. As far as Jackson Hayes going out there participating, as far as Carter Bryant, Jace Richardson, Keyshawn Johnson, I believe, Miami Heat guy. It's hard. It's hard to get gravitate attention with no disrespect to those guys, but they're not star-studded caliber guys. We want to see Anthony Edwards. We want to see John Morant. We want to see Zion Williamson. Hell, I even heard Kendrick Perkins going on and say, hell, even give Victor Wembanyama out there. I know he's 7'6", but let's see what kind of different types of dunks that he can try to provide. A different aspect, a different involvement. You start to gravitate attention. Why? Because you have names that people are very, very familiar with, and those guys. I'm sorry, but seeing Jace Richardson trying to do a dunk like that and hitting his head on the floor, I'm glad he was okay. I'm glad he was safe. But no respect, I only know him to who? Jason Richardson's son. That's no disrespect. That's how I know him. Jackson Hayes, we know him for his leaping ability, of course, being that lob threat for the Los Angeles Lakers. But is he really known as, besides that one East Bay dunk? Again, where are the stars at? And I know a lot of people try to take the blame on LeBron for not participating in it. He missed the window to participate against Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson, all those different types of years where LeBron James never participated. Can you put the blame? Probably. But the NBA has a problem as far as trying to get the stars to be involved in it and try to participate. I know as the years go by, it's harder to be and replicate different types of dunks because there's a lot of dunks that have been done. But where's the creativity at? And that's what makes it very, very frustrating to watch the slam dunk contest. Now, I heard as far as this All-Star Saturday night, the attendance there was very, very good. I heard that people were in their seats ready to go for the 3-point contest. And I see you guys in the YouTube chat as far as they still didn't, as far as Hayes had never been in the slam dunk contest. His first dunk was one of the worst dunks I see. I see you Dodgers for life in there. Look, he had no chance. Yeah, I mean, he had no choice at that moment. What other creativity dunk was Jackson Hayes going to do? I don't know if the preparation, the process was going to be in. But as far as the All-Star Saturday night, the 3-point contest, A+. Everything else, from to me, in my personal opinion, it was okay. It was okay. Now, I'm able to elaborate more on this because I was in attendance along with my guy, John Martin, as far as the NBA All-Star game. The format of it, I thought they nailed it. They did a great job. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, who did not end up playing, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown. Good team. Very, very fun to watch. You already know they call them what? The old heads as far as LeBron, KD. And then you got Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, guys like that on that other roster. Devin Booker, really, really, really good to see. And then you got Team World, Luka Doncic, where we were able to get some footage of him courtside. He looked really, really good warming up. I know he didn't really play much. He's still on a little bit of minutes restriction. SGA is there. Then you got Jokic. You got, excuse me, Victor Wembanyama. And I see people in the YouTube chat as far as Paul saying that they still didn't play that hard. They maybe played 70 at a 70 speed. I do believe there are certain moments where Wemby was out there and my guy John Martin, who I will bring on in the second half, just seeing it there from a real perspective and actually being there in attendance, he was playing hard. He was playing really, really hard. And I'm telling you guys right now that I know the All-Star game has been laughed at these past couple of years, but if you continue to have a competition like that between Wemby, who's trying to make a force and trying to let people know that he is taking this serious, the other guys are going to follow along. Look at Kawhi Leonard and what he was able to do, getting 31 points. 31 points. This is a shot that we got. Kawhi Leonard beating Pascal Siakam off the baseline. Little step back shots. My guy, John Martin. We were able to capture that clip right there. And it was good because Kawhi Leonard getting buckets like that, all of a sudden you start to see the crowd get into it. Hell, when you see someone cook like that, you know what your next instinct is? Get another one. Hell, feed him the rock. And that's what made it really, really exciting when we were in attendance. We were sitting there laughing like, damn, Kawhi Leonard is cooking right now. Anthony Edwards is out there ripping Donovan Mitchell, going down the lane, pulling up from three. It's it got a little personal. You're Anthony Edwards post-game presser saying, Wemby, he brought that out of us. If it takes one guy to bring that energy and effort out of them, okay then. And now we got something cooking. It's only going to trend towards the right direction. I'm not saying that it was a perfect weekend, but it started a trend towards the right direction and getting these guys playing hard. And again, from my personal experience, it was fine. It was fine. I know the NBA is going to try to do more as far as how they can get these guys to play harder. We'll see if they want to get incentivized, all those different types of things. But as far as my personal experience, I thought it was fine. I really do wish that there would be more of a standout, more of a fan showing up. I know it's hard getting in and out of that facility. NBA Paul should. I'm back. Sorry about that, a little technical difficulties, but we'll touch in more of this All-Star weekend, all this NBA All-Star game, more stuff that we got as far as our social media coverage. But before I do any of that, I got to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. As of course, your boy was there last night in attendance for the NBA All-Star game. And there's one clip that I really wanted to share, and I hope we do have it as far as I know everyone had to talk as far as LeBron James and his could this be his potential last NBA All-Star game? And we saw a moment where LeBron James was warming up and all of a sudden he started walking towards the sideline and I was like, oh, well, like, that's LeBron. He's going over there and saying hello to his mother. And the engagement, the interaction that we got from this clip. Again, shout out to me and my boy John Martin. You know, we did a really good job of trying to capture a lot of these moments. And the response that we got all in the YouTube comments was Instagram comments on our ESPN Los Angeles Instagram page, which you guys can catch. We have a lot of good NBA All-Star Weekend moments on our page. And it started to get to thinking, like, could this potentially be LeBron James' last NBA All-Star game? Because he's still playing at a really high level. He's still playing at a level to where, yeah, he did deserve to get into the All-Star reserve. Not a starter, but he did deserve some nods to get into the All-Star reserve. And that was just one of those moments where you're like, damn, we got to take it all in. This could be LeBron James' last time in an NBA All-Star game. So it's really, really wild. And that's another thing I was able to be very, very blessed to capture and get that moment. But the game itself, I didn't think it was too bad. And I thought it was really, really good. But now I got to bring in my guy because he was there with me last night working. He also has a different inside perspective. My guy, John Martin. John, you were there with me last night. You got some stuff that you want to get off your chest as well. As first and foremost, what do you think about the Intuit Dome? Because you went there as a fan perspective, but you actually working it. How did you feel about it?
Listen, bro, I'm gonna just cut it straight. The Intuit Dome is like Pan's Labyrinth. You go through there and you are just so overwhelmed and overstimulated. It's so confusing. Like going through there, going through the media, like part of it, like one there's elevators that will go to one floor and then some elevators don't go to the same floors, and there's just like it's like a maze, dude. It was like I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter, like Goblet of Fire. It was like when they were in the freaking Goblet of Fire and like they're
Yeah.
like it was just crazy, dude. Um
So what
yeah.
did you? Okay, so that moment where we were able to walk through on the basketball floor and actually able to get some content. We've seen a lot of celebrities, we've seen a lot of stars. We've seen the NBC broadcast, VC, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo
Yeah.
Anthony. We were able to get some stuff over there. And then just seeing how they're actually starting to come out. And you saw it on the sidelines where all the celebrities were sitting, it started
Mhm.
getting packed right there.
Yeah.
So
So
what did you think, man?
I think, bro, look, it's the NBA All Star game and it's Los Angeles. There's always going to be a crowd of people there. We're always going to have a draw. You know what I mean? I saw Ludacris out there. I saw Tyler. I saw Barack Obama, bro. They had Obama there. Like, that was pretty lit. And then seeing the guys come out to warm up, I was like, okay, like, it still has that feel. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still a big, it's an All Star game. It's a legendary moment. But I got to be honest, D. I don't know. I just feel like the game itself, the format, I'm just not really crazy about it. I'm just not
Okay,
really crazy
what
about it.
what what about the format? Was it a little confusing to follow along? Was
So
it the time
it was
and
a
the
little
time limit that they're
confusing.
playing in? There's no real score that they're getting to.
So it was a little confusing, and I feel like, all right, like it's cool to try to like mix up the stars and stripes. So the young USA stars versus the old heads, but it's like I kind of miss the traditional East and West All Star format. Like the best from the East, the best from the West, and like where's that sense of like competition? You know what I mean? Like I feel like growing up, it was really like competitive, and I don't really see that these days. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties with DeAndre's camera. I'm gonna try to come back. D, where you at? All right, we're having some technical difficulties with DeAndre. I don't know where he's at, but with that said, man, my straight up experience and my thoughts on the All Star game. Look, I'll say this: Kawhi Leonard was probably Kawhi and Wimby were pretty much the saving graces of the All Star game. I feel like they had energy, they had that competitive grit from the jump. I'm looking at Kawhi, I'm like, okay, like he had 31 in a quarter, but the way he was getting it, man, it was video game like, and I'm just seeing him light it up. He's taking it serious from the jump. All right, we got my boy D back.
Though I think it's due to the rain and stuff like that. It's kind of getting a little
D, it's all
complicated.
good. But I was telling them I was getting into the nitty gritty about how. So we were talking about competitiveness and format, right?
Mhm.
Wimby and Kawhi to me were the saving graces of the All Star game. They really, really, brought a level of intensity that I think the game's been lacking. The last time I saw it like this was, I mean, I have to bring it up was when Kobe was alive. That's the
Yeah,
last time the All Star game felt like competitive, you know?
for sure. And again, we sat there actually in the presser for first off we sat there for Kawhi Leonard, and you see Kawhi Leonard
Yeah.
his interaction and how people were asking him questions and how he felt like if he's the best player in the NBA when he's on the court when
Mm-hmm.
healthy, and you see his comments, he said he does feel like he's the best player. And then hearing Anthony Edwards, we see him, and it was very, very funny. And we're gonna be real. We gotta be real when we're on this show. Anthony Edwards came in there with his MVP trophy,
Oh, but look, even
hands
before he came in with the MVP trophy, look, Ant is a real star. He came in, he had the earrings in during the whole game.
the whole game.
He was sagging his pants a little bit. I'm over here like this guy has no media training, or maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe we need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like our modern day Allen Iverson, just unapologetically himself. You know what I
And
mean?
And the NBA does need something like that. But me and you being able to sit in that presser and seeing in that moment and seeing his response to if he felt like the NBA All Star format has been corrected. He said he believes yes. And then they're asking him like, okay, what proved the point? Like, what made you actually go out there and compete? And he said it straight up, Wemby. Everybody else said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby set the tone. Wemby said we seen it art in ourselves. We're sitting there. We were right there in
Mm-hmm.
attendance and seeing Wemby in his frustration when they lost that first game. And seeing him walking off the court, he's throwing his hands up. He's actually complaining to the
He
fouls.
was.
He
And
was
I was just gonna say, D, the fact that there were even fouls called in the All-Star game speaks to the competitive nature, right? Like if someone's getting fouled, that means all right, someone's making a play defensively. Because look, on offense, everybody was trying to get a bucket. I'm looking at Tyrese Maxey, he's pulling up. Anthony Edwards is they're going hard offensively. Defense is always where we see with these all-star games, like that lack of intensity, that lack of urgency. And I get it, some of these guys, they're not trying to get injured through the season. They're trying to kind of coast. This is like a little fun moment, but like I remember like seeing Kobe, like Kevin Garnett, like guys like, okay, like, seeing the sweat. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like Kawhi and Wemby really brought that. And it was cool to see.
It was really cool to see him get that 31 in that one game. Like it was awesome. Really,
Yeah.
it was awesome to see that. It was cool to see that moment where I believe you guys can check it out on our ESPN Los Angeles social page. But Anthony Edwards picking Donovan Mitchell and then him coming down the court, hitting a 3-point ball, and then him taunting coming back. And then what happens? LeBron's team, they come back and they're responding. That's when De'Aaron Fox hit that wing three to win the game. Like, there was some level in that moment where it's like, okay, we got to zero in. We got to lock in. There's a little bit of moments. Now, the one thing I wanted to ask you before we end this show. Again, I know this is a different type of episode. I know this is more NBA All-Star game focused. We'll definitely get more into Lakers stuff as the week goes on. But, like I said, we wanted to share our personal experience because the NBA All-Star game has been a big topic of conversation. But seeing the fans there and seeing that there was quite a few empty seats from our level, remember, from our level. I know a lot of people have a different mindset and different perspective when you're actually down a little bit further towards the court, but where we were at, hell, we even see Boban. Remember
we did see Boban.
We saw Boban Marjanovic sitting up there with us.
He was a Clipper, correct?
He was a Clipper. Yeah, he was a Clipper. Yeah. And like seeing him sitting up there, I don't know if it's because his legs are more comfortable up there too. I don't know because the seats right there. They look really, really comfortable. But I was kind of disappointed in that. You know what I mean? Like not seeing that many fans, and that's where I have to bring in as far as like the NBA's kind of got to do a better job of at least making it a little bit more affordable for the actual real fans, people who enjoy watching those stars. Because I get it, it's LA, there's a lot of star-studded celebrities. I get all that. You want to bring the celebrities out, but you also want to bring those real passionate fans who actually want to see those guys, those NBA athletes, those people that they really look up to and model their game after.
I think there's a couple of factors here. One, you definitely hit the nail on the head with affordability. I was hearing from different people within the media realm, like tickets were $900. Who in Inglewood, California can afford a $900 ticket to go to a Clippers game? That's one thing. Two, I think that you have to take into account Winter Olympics. So that kind of plays a role in the time of day and the time slot in which the NBA set the All-Star game this year. So that's kind of nuanced. But it's also like I heard a lot of people saying things like, oh, LA, like there's always so many different things to do. Who's going to come to an All-Star game the weekend after like Valentine's Day weekend and all those different things? And I'm hearing that, but I'm like, bro, if you make things affordable, and I don't know, I feel like that will draw like a crowd if it's definitely affordable. And then two, listen, we're going to be honest here on Lakers Talk Daily. Anytime you see me on, I'm going to be 100% honest. Two things are going on in Intuit Dome. One, all those lights that are on the seats are deceptive because it kind of makes it seem from like a camera view, like, oh, somebody's flashing their phone. It's somebody. There's a bunch of people there. There were that arena was a little dry, like the Sahara Desert. And another thing is, bro, they have like fake noise. Apparently, that's what we're hearing from the media realms, that there's fake noise in the like they create fake noise to like.
Hey, look, man, we were there for ourselves, man. That's why we got to be honest here. I know people are like, oh, but you got to be brutally honest here. And I want to read this off the YouTube chat because someone said And this Dodgers for life always brings some funny stuff. He said, I went to the All-Star game and I saw Vin Diesel there.
Hey, family was involved, bro.
Everyone's involved, man. And then just people in Cali, people say that people in Cali got money. I get it. There's certain people in Cali that got money, but
Not
again,
everybody.
not everybody. You want to make sure you get the real. There's kids, there's people that really
Hmm.
want to go out there and enjoy and go out there and watch these festivities, but they
What
can't
about the
because
wall? Somebody said. Okay, I
oh,
will say the wall
David,
jumping.
that's a good David. I will say the wall itself was
Yeah,
jumping. They had a lot of entertainment, a lot
the
of
wall
stuff
was turned
going
up.
on there. They had the whole drum thing going on. I'll give him that. The wall is always turned up. I do believe it's because they have actual people there that are assigned there to do their job. I
Yeah,
will say, I don't know if it's actual passionate fans, but the wall itself, David, it was jumping. But again, I know it's a little different episode. It was good to see LeBron. Hell, we even see Luka and LeBron have a little moment before the game. We saw that. We were able to capture that, seeing them embrace each other. And honestly, that just goes to lead me into what are the Lakers going to do? And I'm gonna save that as far as the tomorrow's episode and seeing them and seeing how they were able to embrace each other. You see in the moment where they're smiling and laughing. And I just hope that carries over to what they need to get done for the second half of the season. But overall, my NBA All Star first NBA All Star game experience, I will give it a fair. I give it like a B minus. It was good as far as the game itself. As far as the stuff I was able to do and the interaction, A plus. I was very, very grateful for any opportunity like that. I'm gonna keep on working hard, man. I'm gonna keep on going out there and doing what I got to do. But as far as you guys out there in the YouTube chat, as always, I'm very, very appreciative of you guys tuning in. We got another episode tomorrow. We'll dive in more as far as Lakers and what they need to do and what they got to accomplish coming into the second half as a postseason is coming real, real close. But for myself, my guy John Martin, as always, I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow, and we out.